Good evening, Father.
Good evening, Ulrich.
The silence.
What's that?
Thanks for breaking the silence.
I thought no one is talking. Let me just speak out.
Yeah, awesome, Ulrich. Let's lift up our glasses and say, cheers! Welcome to another episode of Tea with Solutions. So it's so awesome to be with you guys. Cheers. Tea with Solutions. So nice to be with you guys. Okay. Yeah. I hope all of you guys are fine. Everyone is in good health and good cheer. Thank you for joining in. Okay, over to Father Bosco.
All those who are keeping good health and are fine, please raise your hands. He is raising his legs also. Okay, so good evening once again. We have a small activity as you will see on the board behind us. So I'll explain to you the activity.
Okay. Can everyone see the board behind?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Shall we take the camera a little further?
Okay, so let me explain to you first what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to ask you all 6 questions. All right, and you type out the answers on your chat. The answers to the questions that are listed. You will look at the chat box and get the answers. Now, if your answer is right, I'll put it over there, and then I'll tell you what we'll do next. Okay, so listen to the questions and then you give your answers accordingly. First question. Listen and then answer. Let's see who gets all the 6 right. Father Leon Cruz Rockingham is going to post the prize to you all if somebody among you all gets all right. Okay.
Yeah, and
First,
there's a prize for everyone who gets all 6 correct. So type fast. If you type the fastest, then you'll be considered as the right answer.
the first question. What is the first and most important hobby that brothers and sisters share? What is the first and let's say most loved hobby that brothers and sisters do at home? Reading.
Nah, not reading.
Fight. Somebody said fight. Somebody said fight. Somebody said
Yes. Fight. Wait.
Somebody said fighting. Aaron said
Wait.
fight. Okay,
The first one who said fight was Roshan. Father Roshan.
Okay, many have said reading, dancing,
Roshan, Father Roshan.
eating, watching TV. But I think the right answer is what?
Fight. Okay, so brothers and sisters and brothers, they love to play WWF. They love to fight with one another. They fight over the remote. They fight over who's going to get water for them to drink. They fight over each and everything.
Fight. Basically, we don't need reason to fight. We just fight. Second question. What is, let's say, the famous Indian festival that is coming in the next 1 or 2 days? Rakhi.
Angel has got the correct answer.
Diwali.
Ganesh Chaturthi.
Okay. Yes, it's Raksha Bandhan. All those who have brothers and sisters. But let's write the short form.
The one who got it correct was Angel. Rakhi.
Of course, the answer is Raksha Bandhan, but then who's going to write that in a big thing? I just wrote a short form.
Bakri Eid is going on.
Yes, that is today. Bakri Eid is today, Baba. I said which is coming soon. Who's that? Sheldon D'Souza. Next question. Listen. When we are sad or we are happy, we are joyful or when we are scared, when something is right or when something is wrong, we run to this one person in the house. Let's say among all the families. Mom, dad. Yeah. Actually, let's say we have taken the answer as mom.
Yeah.
Who it can be dad also. I'm not saying that it can't be dad, but just I have taken it mom. Okay, that is the right answer. You can go to your dad, you can go to your bro, you can go to your sister. Fourth question. Which sacrament unites two people together in the bond of love? Look at the letters. Okay, the first person who said marriage, matrimony, Satish Paul, matrimony, doing theology. Yeah, the marriage and matrimony is the right answer. That's the right answer. Okay. The fifth, the second last question. In many serials, yeah, if you are not talking, please put yourself on mute. Many serials and movies and jokes that go around, fights and conflicts and regular tu meme is shown between this group. Okay, I'll repeat the question. In serials,
Panelists.
in serials and movies and
Comedians.
fights and conflicts are shown. Okay.
Shefali.
Shefali, yeah. Saas Bahu and Kabhi Saas Bhi Bahu.
Yeah.
That's the right answer.
But Shefali's got it correct.
That's in-laws. Mother-in-law. All those who get married will get the experience of in-laws a little later in life. Okay, the last question. Now this is a little tough. Okay, what is another word for descendants? Successors, descendants. We are talking about lineage or family. What is another word for descendants?
It's a synonym for descendants.
Synonym.
Heirs, ancestors. Yes, someone has got it correct. Donovan Nazareth. Progeny. Donovan Nazareth. You've got it correct. Progeny. Come on, Donovan, give yourself a big hand. Come on, pat yourself on the back. You speak here.
Okay, now let's take a closer look at the entire screen. This is the screen.
Yeah.
Take it there. Okay, so we have five. We have Raki, we have mom, we have community, we have in-laws, and we have president. Now there is something common amongst all of this. Can you guess what is it? Keep it there. Yes, correct. If you see at the center of all of this is center of all the questions that we asked and everything that we said is family. And I think many know it's okay. They can see.
Okay.
So, my dear friends, this is the topic of today.
Family.
Family is at the center of all that happens among us.
Correct.
And this is the topic for today. Over to Father Leon Cruz Ratnam. Thanks to all those who answered the questions right and wrong.
Afsos, ye bar bhi no one gets the grand prize. But no problem. We can still try. We can still do our best. Over to you, Father Leon.
Okay, as we have this theme of family today, we have the first speaker of today is Shefali. So, Shefali is a very passionate catechist. Shefali, over to you.
Hello, hi everyone. Okay, so I've been given the topic by Father Leon.
Shefali, a little louder, please. Shefali, a little louder.
Okay, 1 minute, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been given a topic on the challenges of staying in a family and also the importance of a family. So I'll go forward first with the importance of a family. For Christians, for Catholics, basically, family is of the utmost importance. It's considered to be a unit which is very important in the church. So now, do we really need a family? The answer is definitely yes, because however much we may not like the generation gaps that we need to deal with, without our parents, okay, without somebody who is an adult, we would not have been in the world. Okay, so yes, our family is very important, and we also see that in the scriptures. Okay, so we see the Holy Family, okay, as a very strong unit that teaches us a lot of values, right? So I would like to take this particular part based upon the Holy Family. So let's look at the relationship between Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. Okay, so I feel that they are a very perfect family because they have all the qualities of what makes up a family. Okay, so one thing that you notice between Mary and Joseph is their support and concern for each other. Okay, they cared for each other even before they could be sealed in the bond of matrimony. Yeah, so we see Joseph caring for Mary. Okay, he does not desert her just like that. Okay, in fact, later on when the angel comes and speaks to him and guides him, he also accepts Mary the way she is. Okay, so we also see that Mary is somebody who journeys along with Joseph. She never leaves him alone to do things on his own. So she is there when things are bad. Okay, she is there when he has to go on a journey, and she's always around with him. Similarly, we see Joseph, who's a very caring husband to Mary. Uh, he takes care of her in the entire journey that they have to Bethlehem, where Mary gives birth to Jesus. Even from there on, even when they had to go into exile, okay, we again have Joseph playing a very lead role in taking care of both the mother and the child, considering that, there were no other women to look after Mary, which generally happens for us whenever there's a baby born in the family. You always have, the mothers, the grandmothers coming and taking care. However, in this situation, we never had any motherly person around Mary who could take care of her. It was Joseph who was actually taking care of her. So we see a very beautiful husband-wife relationship between Mary and Joseph. As Jesus grows into a young child, we also see that, the way Jesus gels with the family. Okay, we have seen many pictures of Jesus, pictures from the family. We have pictures of Jesus when he's helping his father in carpentry. We also have pictures of Jesus where he's helping his mother in the kitchen. So we see always the Holy Family picture as a family that's doing everything together. I think I'm still not audible. Hello?
You're audible. You're audible.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we always see the Holy Family as a group of people who are doing everything together. We also come to a point where Jesus is lost in the temple, and we see the care and concern that Mary and Joseph have for their child. Okay, but at the same time, we also have them accepting the work of Jesus. So though he has done something which ideally he should not have done as an obedient child, he should have stuck along with his parents in a crowded place. But when they get to know, his mind, they respect him. So you see that the parents start respecting Jesus and his mind even before he was a teenager. He was just 12 years of age, as the scripture tells us. So I guess this was something that was coming right from childhood, wherein they respected their son. Okay, and the same goes to the parents. So Jesus respected his parents in return. Yeah. So even later on, as the journey progresses, suddenly you see a cutoff. You don't see Mary being mentioned anywhere except in certain bits and pieces. But you see a very strong relationship between the son and the mother at the crucifixion. When Jesus, just before he dies, he entrusts his mother to his disciple. Okay, because he knows that without a husband and a son, a woman may not have any recognition in society. and he is there and he remembers that before he dies, okay, he has to do another important job is entrust the care of his mother to someone and also give the mother someone so that she has her identity and dignity in society. So we see the Holy Family as a unit that's always together, doing things together, okay, and respecting each other. So considering that Jesus is all the time outside the house, okay, around his ministry work, Mother Mary was definitely concerned about him, but at the same time, she respects his decision and his mission in life. So coming now to the challenges that we may face in a family. Yes, definitely there's a generation gap, okay, and generation gap is not that easy to sustain because mindsets are different, okay. There could be a different experience of life that our parents have had and that we have had. So again, it's very difficult to, you know, uh, get those two experiences on the same platform. So especially in COVID times, okay. So prior to COVID, we always had a distraction. We could go to college, we could go to church, we could go to office, and we met different people. But coming in the lockdown, we are stuck up with the same people, okay, different generations stuck in the same house, and there is no way out, okay. You cannot go to office, you cannot distract yourself with other friendships or other relationships, and you're just stuck up in the house. It can get very tough for many people, considering that our opinions are different, our likes are different. For example, a simple movie, okay, you may like an action movie, your parents may not like an action movie, okay, or you may like a romantic movie, your spouse may like a thriller, okay. So there are definitely going to be clashes in the lockdown. It is very overwhelming to be locked up with the same kind of people, okay, all the time. And that is why Big Boss became such a big craze, because it's not the difficulty of staying together, but it's the difficulty of being locked in together where there is no escape. So the best thing that you can do in this lockdown time is make the best of the togetherness. So it's difficult, but try to have activities that you all can do together. For example, one day you decide to prepare a Chinese meal, and the entire family gets together, the ones who know it, the ones who don't know it, they all search out recipes and build up something. So do the best of the togetherness, watch movies, watch serials that are family based, so everybody is involved in it. And at the same time, while doing everything together, it's also important to have your own privacy. So respect the privacy of every member in the family. Okay, so if your siblings need to spend some time with their friends, allow them. Parents want to spend time doing their stuff, allow them. So the same goes with your spouse as well. Doesn't mean that just because we are at home together, we need to spend all the time with each other. We need to give each person their privacy at the same time. The next one is standing up for one another in the family. So in this part, what I would like to mention is there are many cases, wherein the father may not be very kind to the mother, okay, but he puts the children on a top pedestal, okay, uh, and the children feel, oh, I'm getting almost everything, so why should I bother? But that's not the right behavior. It's a family, and therefore you need to go ahead and try to stand up, say by your mother, okay, and get your father to respect your mother. It's very important. Just because you are not affected by something, that does not mean that you just ignore that part. The same will be even for your siblings, okay. So even for your siblings, sometimes your parents may be a little harsh with another sibling and not allowing them to do what they want. But if you feel that you need to stand by your sibling, do it. Okay. So stand up for one another. Also, when it comes to siblings, though there's no generation gap between siblings, as we rightly said, our favorite hobby is to fight. So handle siblings. Sometimes there's a lot of age difference between the siblings, and that's why sometimes there's absolutely just one difference, still you don't get along, because as your interests change. So the sister and the brother would have done a lot of things together when they were small, but as they grow up, he possibly likes engineering and you possibly like art. So it's going to create a problem. So at that time, try to handle siblings. If they are much younger to you, try to handle them as well, just like you handle a difficult subject or you are handling a difficult project in the office. So whenever things are leave them, especially if it's our exams or our projects in office, we try to work a way around. So try doing that. Try to work out a way to handle your siblings, okay? And share with them best practices. Okay, if you give them their privacy, they will learn to give you your privacy. So keep some time to handle them. I feel one thing that works best in almost any relationship, okay, is what I call convince or get convinced. So in any relationship, be it friendship, be it uh, absolutely any relationship, play this trick of convince or get convinced. So just don't give in to things. Okay. Sometimes talk and try to convince the other person of what your views are. If they don't get convinced by your views, see if you can get convinced by their views. In case that's still not happening, say for example, let's take career choices. Okay, you may want to be a pilot, but your parents feel that I don't think you should be a pilot, going to be a doctor. Okay, you may have the talent, to be a doctor, yes, but that doesn't mean that because you have the talent and your parents want you to be a doctor, you leave your passion to be a pilot and become a doctor. So try to convince them about what you want for yourself in life. Okay, it can be the same thing when you want to get married to someone and your parents don't agree with the person you want to marry. Try to convince them or get convinced. If it still does not work, because I know that many a times the other party can be very firm in saying that I don't want to listen to you, I just want you to do this. So at such times, try to bring in a priest, a catechist, a religious, okay, somebody in the family who is elder, and that your parents will trust the person or your spouse will trust the person, and try to get them to intervene and sort out the matter. Okay, but that doesn't mean that just because you feel indebted, you just give in to something. So give in, but don't regret the giving in. And as I said, respect one another's opinion. It can happen even in a small unit. Like I know of many youngsters who were, raising their voice during the CA and NRC process, and the parents were very worried about them, and they said, you're not going to speak about all these things. Whereas the child felt that, no, I need to speak about it. So at such times, respect each other's opinions. So as parents, respect your child's opinion if they are doing something which is correct. If they are doing something wrong, yes, definitely you have to tell them that. But respect one another's opinion and see how you can keep them protected at the same time. And also it's about staying spiritually connected. So in the COVID times, we are having resources to a lot of spiritual aspects online. So, stay spiritually connected, watch, celebrate a mass, which everybody likes. At the same time, give each other the space to also follow their own religious aspects. So, if somebody likes tea with solutions, allow your sibling to watch tea with solutions. Another person wants to attend another program, don't force them to attend this, allow them to go in for the next. So yes, so family all about respecting one another, okay, despite the age difference, despite the and also standing up for one another. That's it. Thank you for the Leon.
Thank you, Shafari. Next, we have with us Father Paul Raj, who is going to speak about the importance of mental health in the family. Father Paul Raj is an experienced counseling psychologist. Father Paul Raj.
Am I audible? Yes. Hello? Hello?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, Father, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So good evening, one and
Go
all.
ahead, Father.
Yeah, I thank Father Leon for giving me this opportunity to share some of my insights on family mental health or mental health in the family. Um, Whenever we speak of mental health, we understand that there is a stigma attached to this term, mental health, and this is due to two reasons. Firstly, lots of false notions about the term itself, mental. Sometimes it is thought of as a derogatory term. And as much as physical is a good term, mental also is a term that we have to, live with. I mean, that is part and parcel of our life. Secondly, there is a lack of knowledge about the topic mental health. And that's why I thought, let me, as a counselor, as a psychologist, talk about the mental health in the families. Now, when we talk about mental health in the families, we are not talking about mental illnesses that can affect people. You have this fanciful terms like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and obsessive compulsive disorder. Now these are all coming under the category of mental illnesses. We are not going to touch upon them, but we are concerned about the health, mental health in the family, and not about illness. Most of us know the telltale signs of physical health, and we all know how to take care of it. But what about our mental health, our daily worries, the anxiety, the loneliness some people might feel, the anger, frustrations, the negative feelings? These are all realities in any family. This can really eat up a person's well being from within and can have both physical as well as psychological effects on the person as well as on the family. I want to stress upon physical as well as psychological because these two go hand in hand. It is good to note that physiology and psychology, the psyche of the person, mental health of the person, are connected. If your body is not well, your mind will suffer along with your body and vice versa. So the question I want to pose to you at the outset of my presentation, the beginning of my presentation is this. Can you be a mental health agent, a catalyst, mental health catalyst in your family? Or do you negatively contribute to the mental well-being of your family members? Okay, this is the question I want you to think about. And I would share with you three areas or three ways in which you can be a mental health catalyst in your own family. So these are all very simple, practical ways of being a mental health catalyst. The speaker before me, I think Shifali, she gave lots of practical things. I would like to add just three more to what she has said. And okay, hello. Yes. So I would like to give this acronym CAC, and I will abbreviate it CAC. The first C stands for something, but before I tell you what it stands for, I would like to share with you an incident that I read long time ago in the net, and but that remained with me for a long time and made a deep impression or made me think a lot about it. It's about a Japanese man who did not speak with his wife for 20 years, although he lived under the same roof and fathered three children. The man's name is Otomu and his wife's name is Katayama. And for 20 years, Otomu did not speak with his wife at all because the husband felt that the wife was giving, as a mother, was giving a lot of attention to her kids and not to him. But Katayama, as a wife, would try to speak to him, but in response, she would get only a repetitive grunt or a nod, that's all. Now, their 18-year-old son saw this, and he wrote to a TV show, and he informed them that their father and mother have not had a conversation, let alone meaningful, healthy conversation, not a conversation at all in the past 20 years. And therefore, that TV show arranged for a meeting in a park where they had their first date, and it worked. Now it is available in the net for yourself how it happened and all that. Now, this 18-year-old boy, a youth like you, acted as a catalyst, a mental health catalyst in the family by trying to dissolve that conflict of whatever kind of friction in the relationship their father and mother had. Now, the first C stands for communication or the lack of it. A family becomes a strong, healthy, well-knit family when there is a healthy communication going on between family members. And if there is lack of healthy communication, the family will function as a family, but there will be a lot of artificiality and superficiality in it. And in the communication itself, it's good to examine our communication, daily conversation in the family. Sometimes we can be very peripheral and superficial. I'm going out, I'm going to the college, or I'm hungry, I'm watching TV. Now, these are all superficial communications, and we can be okay with that in a family, but this is not a very healthy kind of a communication. On the other hand, there is deep communication, which is an expression of one's feelings, dreams, joys, and sorrows. Now, that takes a lot of quality time together. And when there is quality time together, quality communication happening, the family bond is strengthened. Now, it is a sad fact that little judgmental. Sometimes the youngsters are virtually communicating a lot, but not communicating with real people, especially in the families. I know of a case in which a young boy, when he comes back from the college, he shuts up in his room and goes into the social media and does not talk with his parents at all, and only comes out for dinner. You know, whatever may be the thing, he is communicating, but his communication is with the outside world and not with the real people in the family. Again, when we speak about communication, we can say about verbal and non-verbal communication. In verbal communication, still there can be a lot of quality that can go with it. Also, there is, I spoke about the superficiality also. But what is much more deeper is a non-verbal communication. Your time with the family members, your let us say um, affirmation of their good things that I will talk about in my next point. Also, for example, making a special dish for the family or purchasing some things for the family members. These are the ways in which we non-verbally communicate to the people our love and affection, which goes a long way in building up the relationship. And I'll also like to note that we sometimes communicate a lot of negative feelings in the family. Displacement of anger, frustration, worry, all that happens on the softest targets that we have. The softest targets are the family members. As we are in the lockdown, we might be experiencing a lot of frustration. But where do we let out all this frustration? On the family members. Sometimes a lot of negative communication happens like this. So the first point is communication. Can we be agents of positive and deep communication in our family? The second letter is A, and A stands for affirmation, positive affirmation. I would like to explain this positive affirmation with
Father Paul,
yes, yes.
unfortunately, the meeting is ending. We are crossing that 40 minutes.
Okay,
So, can you please conclude it in a minute because the meeting might end now?
okay, fine. Uh, the two other points I wanted to share was affirmation and collaboration, helping with the family chores and you know all that. Of course, lots of things coming in that. But it is good to understand this three letters CAC. communication, affirmation, and collaboration in the family will go a long way to build up, let us say, a better, healthy family, which will have a lot of mental health in it. And young people, by doing these three simple things, can be the mental agents in their own families. Thank you.
Okay, guys, we are running out of time. I would like to invite you to continue our discussion. Now you will be placed in groups and we go and we discuss this topic on the family. There will be solutions with you. You will be put in groups and there will be discussions happening. So don't go away. Let's get into our groups. Let's discuss this whole topic on family. Let's build our family bonds. Let's make our family great. Let's make our family strong. Let love be the uniting factor in our family. Okay, over to you, Father Leon.
Please check your WhatsApp message. In your WhatsApp message, you would have got the link for the group discussions. So you have to go to that new link and join the group discussions.